I think I was very good. I think I hit some stuff that was amazing. But there's been moments where I had to go to the studio and I knew they wanted Celine Dion. Who's Celine Dion? Celine Dion is the one who sang all by myself anymore to the highest note ever and whatever, and she's the best.
Before I actually delve into the clip at the start of this video, I just want to say thank you to everyone. The reception of this GoFundMe has been absolutely incredible. The support, just overpouring, positively overwhelming, actually. It's not really just about the numbers. I can't stress that enough. Just the fact that people are going out there and sharing this to as many people as possible, I honestly cannot tell you how grateful I am. So I really want to make sure I express that gratitude, because what I've learned in life is that it's so important to give people flowers while they're living, because they cannot smell nor use them after they've passed away. So to everyone who have spread this via social media, or spread this campaign via social media, or have discussed it through word of mouth, thank you so much. I really want to say that honestly from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Now, let's delve into the video and this lesson that I want to discuss today. At the very start of this video, I shared a clip from Celine Dion's documentary called I Am Celine Dion. In this clip, she's talking about how she no longer has the same great ability to sing that she had as she was younger. She's unfortunately suffering from stiffness person syndrome, which, and this is honestly just from a quick Wikipedia search, so I'm not an expert. It basically causes her muscles to stiffen and to contract, and it causes her to spasm. So she's not able to expand her lungs as she was before and hit the high, incredible notes that she were hitting before. And the reason why I shared that quote is because I think, and I'm going to share a personal tale, by the way, in our life, when we feel like we've done something great and are unfortunately not able to go back to that great moment to relive those experiences, we feel like we've kind of lost something. We're not as great as we were before. We are, and I put this in quotation marks, less worthy. I should also say, by the way, this is a much longer video. There's something I really want to discuss that's very powerful. But I think I have a perspective, not advice. You know, my mentor and I, we always say we don't give advice. We have a perspective that might help somebody who might be in this situation of feeling lost, or that they're no longer as worthy as they were when they were at their peak. After graduating from college, and after doing my bachelor's degree, I went to India for a year. And then after India, I came back to Springfield for summer, and I immediately got on a plane and I went to Germany, and I lived there for 7 years. So I had spent 8 years abroad. A lot of things happened. No need to go into the whole story. This is not a therapy session, but a lot of things happened, and I had to come back to Springfield. When I came back to Springfield, and this is why I shared that quote with Celine Dion, I felt like I had lost myself. I felt like I wasn't as great as I was before. I felt like I'd been this cool Haitian American who was bouncing around Europe, and now I don't have that experience anymore. And there was a part of my identity that just felt like incomplete and less worthy. And I didn't really feel like I appreciated myself. And it wasn't until I really started sending students abroad that I really felt like I had a purpose again, and that this is what it actually means to feel alive again, and I can live vicariously through these students. Now, the solution or perspective I can offer is that if you feel like you've lost this part of yourself, what you can do is you can mentor somebody, because you have all this knowledge, you have all this experience that is so worthwhile to somebody who wants to follow your path. Now, let me dive into the second part of this video, passing the baton. Last year, so I mentor for a program called Follow My Steps. Last year, I went to the end of the year banquet that they had, and there was this man there named Mr. Anthony Payne, who shared a presentation about mentorship and the importance and the power of mentorship. And he said that our role as mentors is to pass the baton. And that meant so much to me, because the truth is, because of all the responsibilities I currently have now, I'm not in a position where I can live abroad for 8 years again. And that's okay. I feel completely satisfied and okay with that, because now I have the privilege, honor, and the opportunity to pass the baton to these young students. Sending your dear to Japan, Marvin and Jersey to Spain, and now Destiny to Spain this summer. And to also see how these kids reach back and support, for example, Yadira attended Marvin and Jersey's going away celebration. I was so happy, and that was so wonderful to see. Our goal, once we have actually reached that stage where we've done something great and we feel like we have been knocked down a notch, quote unquote, our goal is to reach back and to pass the baton to any other younger person who wants to follow that path, and show them and give them all the knowledge that they need in order to succeed. The final part that I want to discuss is this feeling of being entitled, and why I have these students wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning to send emails and send 50 emails before they go to school in order to fundraise money for their trip. In order to tell that story, I have to tell a short story about my mentor. Jay, I met Jay when I was 14 years old, and I hated Jay when I first met him, like really hated him. What Jay would do is that we would have like a 5-page paper assigned to us. I would have like 2, maybe 2.5, 3 pages written, and I would give it to Jay, and he would delete 90% of it and leave me with like maybe 3 to 4 sentences, maybe 5 sentences if I'm lucky, and he'd be like, "This is your paper, start from here." I absolutely hated that so much, and I just felt like he was so hard on me, and Jay was hard on us, and he was very open about it. But what Jay was trying to do was mold us to be tenacious, fearless young people. So by the time that I had graduated from high school and I went back and I worked with Jay, the first thing that he said when he saw me is, "This is what I wanted to see. Now you are entitled. Now you feel like you belong here. Now you can walk onto any campus, walk into any location and feel like you belong there." And those words meant the absolute most to me. So the reason why because I actually was having this conversation with Destiny and her family, why I make students wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, because they could also send the emails in the afternoon. I know that if I make these students wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, and they send these emails, and I have them go out, meet these leaders in businesses or organizations, and teach them how to speak up, that what we are creating then are students who feel entitled, young students from the inner city who feel like they belong anywhere. And that is absolutely key. And also, just to let you know, I never ask anything of my students that I'm not willing to do or haven't done myself. The same process I'm teaching my students, Jay made me do when I was fundraising to go to India, and I'll have that link there for anybody who wants to read my GoFundMe and see how much money I raised. I had to go through the same process, but it was so important. So Destiny, being my former student and now being one of the mentees in the Follow My Steps program, it was an absolute honor and joy to see Destiny as one of the panelists at the banquet, sitting there, speaking up in a crowd of hundreds of people and sharing her perspective. That is an absolute honor. And I don't really take credit for that, by the way. She has a support system of her own. But to know that I played a small role in that role, to know that I played a small role in that, to encourage, to inspire her, to then give to her the messages my mentor gave me, to then pass the baton to her as my mentor passed the baton to me. That for me is the greatest honor ever. And that gave me the most wonderful feeling ever. This process of fundraising money is one of the most difficult things I do all year, because I balance this with working 3 jobs. It also falls during Ramadan, and I'm also fasting, and it's a lot to balance. But at the very end of it, and this is actually what this ring means as well, in Arabic it says, surely with hardship comes ease. At the end of it, I'm so grateful to have this opportunity and to have this privilege to pass the baton as my mentor passed the baton to me, and to create these young, fearless, entitled, truly entitled and deserving students. It is my greatest honor. So thank you all very much for all you do to support this. I'm eternally grateful. And we're almost there. Have a lovely evening.
Okay, now pull me up. Pull me up. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's so much easier for somebody to pull you down. Hear me. It's so much easier for somebody to pull you down than you to pick them up. In other words, good decisions. You're a beautiful young lady. You're trying to do your life right. Your mom and dad are instilling in you virtues and different things that are very important to what a young lady needs. And you're up here and you're doing it right. Not that you're on a pedestal, but you have the right thoughts and values. But the right person comes along, can easily pull you down, then you can pull somebody up.
Oh yeah,
You
that's
understand what I'm
good.
saying?
Yeah.
You gotta understand how important that is. Okay?